I teach both Education 100, which is the first course that students take when they begin their path in the teacher education program, and I also teach in the methods program, which is the first part of their field experience. So I see when the students start, and I see where they need to be when they start in the classroom, and I really saw that there's a need for them to really now know a lot of the technology that they're expected to be able to use when they get out in the field.
Instead of just using technology as a form to show information, I feel like we should become more involved as a student. So, for example, using the smartboard, students can become more interactive with an actual lesson. So hands-on.
For something other than just an expensive whiteboard. So one thing that my students do when they come in is there's a question posted for them on the smartboard about something having to do with the reading or something that we've talked about, and then they have to take their name and drag it or pull it to what their answer is. And that serves three purposes. One, it gets them thinking as soon as they walk in the door. Two, they begin to interact with the technology. And three, it's an easy way for me to take attendance. One thing that we do in my Education 100 class is they all work in groups. They get assigned to groups throughout at the beginning of the semester. And one of their assignments is to go out on the web and search for any way that they can find that technology is being used in education. And they have to talk to each other then through a discussion board about the things that they've found in their groups. And then as a group, they have to decide what's the most creative or innovative thing that they've found, and then they have to come back to the whole class and present that way to the class. And one of those things is Prezi, which I'm such a big fan of now. I'm like enamored with Prezi because it's a really quick and easy way to do an engaging presentation that's different than PowerPoint. I think we're kind of PowerPointed to death right now. And it allows students to learn really quickly how to do a presentation that is dynamic. I love the discussion boards, and I think it primes them, the discussion that they have before class primes them for what we're doing in class that next week. And that's the way that I like to schedule what they're doing in the discussion boards, because I give them the topic for the discussion board and then talking about that on their discussion board, so that then when they come to class next week, they're already primed for that. And I'll say, for example, when Sarah was talking about this on the discussion board, she found this. And it really allows us to have a much richer conversation in person, that face-to-face conversation. And I can pull up the discussion board and the URLs that they got at the same time in class.
And while it is important for them to meet outside of the classroom or in the classroom as a group, they do that every week. So not only are they meeting in the classroom during class and outside of class, but they are meeting online and they are still discussing. So continuously throughout a week, their work continues as a group, just not in person. So they collaborate together in a group online. So the classes that I TA for, my job that I took on as becoming a TA was to incorporate technology to the best of my ability. I have experience using the Eno board and the Smart board, as well as other fundamental technology assistance in the classroom. So what I do is I incorporate into every lesson parts of technology that allows the students to interact in simple ways.
So the way that Kristin and I work together is that we meet each week to plan out what we're doing in the course, and then to think about what would be the best technology to use for each part of the course. Sometimes it's better not to use any technology, but then sometimes it's great to use different kinds of technology. And we talk about, well, is it better to use the Eno board for this, Or is it better to use the smartboard for this? Or is it better to have the students use laptops during this time? I feel like the role of technology in education is to allow students and educators to meet each other's needs in a better way.
So students, I feel, are connected more to their laptops and to their cell phones and to being on the internet, that as a teacher, I feel that I have to adapt to that. So adapt to what the new growing trends are. And by adapting to that, it means incorporating the use of technology and what works for the students. And what works for the students is using online tools. But it's not all about incorporating videos and technology into the classroom. It is still about having a professor there teaching you. But she's teaching you, he or she is teaching you through the use of technology. So your professor is still your main focus and still the main person instructing you, but technology is aiding the person.